Black Eyed Peas.
Oh man.
Pep.
We are live.
We're live.
Oh man. Killer Miller and AB Tewatia are putting on a show.
Doing it again for the Gujarat Titans.
Yeah.
Yet again it is these two.
15 of 9.
What is it with these two?
I know.
Hardly close in all fairness. This is Gujarat's game.
Yeah, this is Gujarat's game to lose, but
Quickly, updates about the Mumbai game.
In the match at DY Patil, the Vaughan special, Mumbai Indians, Rohit Sharma's won a toss on his 35th birthday, and he's chosen to bowl. And
Oh.
No, I think they'll review that.
Go ahead.
I think they're reviewing
and
that.
Mumbai Indians have made
Two changes. So I'll brief you. So the two changes they've made is they've brought in, what's his name? Kumar Karthikeyan Singh in place of Jaydev Unadkat, and they have dropped Dewald Brevis and brought in Tim David.
Yeah,
So-
8 crore David.
Yes.
So if anybody if anybody wants to know about Kumar Karthikeyan Singh, 24-year-old left-arm orthodox spinner from Sultanpur in UP, but plays for Madhya Pradesh in the Ranji Trophy.
UP.
Yeah.
आजकल यूपी के लड़के काफी
छा गए.
छा रहे हैं.
And RCB, being typical RCB, take
They
a
review
review
when
when
it's
there was
still in
clear
the
bat on it.
Finish your update about
He
Yeah.
loves. He
Man
just
from
needs to
Sultan.
troll.
Yeah. So Mumbai Indians have apparently, because the pitch apparently at the DY Patil is a slow, low turner. That's why they have filled spinners in that.
you didn't know that first. Raise the question that you were saying. That's why I say do the discussions in the live.
Yeah.
Because when you do it before
Okay.
live, then then you know the answer to every question.
So Kumar Karthikeyan Singh,
So what is the change they have done? Dropped a fast bowler
fast
for
bowler, Jaydev Unadkat is out, and Kumar Karthikeyan Singh, the slow left-arm orthodox spinner, is in. And Tim David, 8 crore Tim David is in for Dewald Brevis.
That I think is a call that was needed.
Yeah.
Dewald Brevis, as much as he may have impressed us, but what happens, we get excited looking at under 19 players. But overall, had he been contributing in the team's win? Not quite. I think Tim David is a bigger X-factor player. He may not have really worked for them in the 2 games that he played, but I think you need to give him a longer run. Also, you got to see now that you're out of the running for playoff, see
Just
whether that
try.
kind of money, you
it's worth
have
it,
to retain him now for 2 more seasons. Then what is it that he can bring to the table? How is it that you can utilize him? You'll only get to know by playing him a few games. So good on Mumbai Indians to
So
pick David.
three spinners in the Mumbai Indians team: Hrithik Shokeen, Kumar Karthikeyan, and Tim David.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you look at it, also not to forget, Karen Pollard will bowl his dibbly dobbly.
Dibbly Dobblies,
Oh, yeah.
yes, and shifting from DY to Brabant, AB
finished.
Tewatia.
Acha,
Arey,
okay.
AB Tewatia has hit a 6-7
So
of 6
happy RCB is losing, it just cannot control
He
it.
cannot keep it in check.
RCB, not RCB.
RCB is, as things stand right now, Tewatia has done it, finished it.
With
Yet
bigger.
again.
I know that RCB fans would still be hoping, but I would now call it a miracle if they can win from here.
Josh
Next
Hazelwood
to
will have to produce something special.
Josh Hazelwood will have to do a monomocle of 2012.
Hmm.
He defended 8 runs in that match, Delhi Daredevils versus Rajasthan Royals, 6 runs. That's it. So in the Mumbai Indians game, it's a very special game today. It's a tribute to Shane Warne, and DY Patil, Rajasthan Royals fans will be very, very nostalgic about it because it was in that venue 14 years ago that they won the first
So
title.
their kit also, by the way, on the collar
Yes.
part here has SW23 emblazoned on it. It's a full-on tribute to Warne.
Forever the first Royal, and indeed it's we
Actually,
still can't.
I'm a bit surprised it's come so late.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah.
were waiting for this venue. That was the reason.
Yep. Still can't digest the fact that the great man
He's
is
no more. Yeah.
By the
They
way,
haven't played the DY
big
Patil.
announcement coming from CSK. Jadeja will hand over the captaincy back to Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Wow!
Did he ever really?
Just-
But did he relinquish it?
No, but that's big news.
Yeah, it's
Just
very big
update
news.
our title, please, Shivam. Just put it breaking.
Yes.
MS Dhoni.
You want,
back
you want me
captain,
to?
Jadeja gives captaincy back to MS Dhoni.
Yeah,
Breaking, Jadeja.
You want me to?
Yeah, just check it once.
Yeah, but has CSK's official handle put it out?
They only put it out. Just
so
that,
then
There's
what
no
is
April
that?
Fool.
just that whatever link you click on it, something else is opening. But yes,
Maybe
that's
they
what.
posted
No,
a wrong link.
is it from the official?
Yes,
Twitter
yes,
handle?
yes.
Yes,
Or
yes.
they've been
so,
hacked.
so that is the big news at the moment. Ravindra Jadeja has decided to give the captaincy back to MS Dhoni.
Yes.
And no matter how many jokes my fellow panelists here crack about, did he have to give it back or is it just a formality, because after all he was the captain anyway. So the question is, I think the reason this might, and how is it they're going to benefit from here, because from here they're not qualifying for the playoff, we've already called that, so they're not qualifying for playoff. So what is it the reason? The one reason that I can see that they may have done it is that Ravindra Jadeja, woefully out of form with the bat and his bowling ahead of the T20 World Cup, a lot of worry considering his form. And if you want a Jadeja to be back in form just as the form he showed prior to the IPL when he was playing for India, if you want that form back, maybe Jadeja himself must have thought, no, it's best not for me to continue as captain. Let me concentrate on Jadeja, the batsman and the bowler. I think on that regard, it's a great call.
Because CSK are not losing anything by this move. You are actually probably gaining Jadeja's confidence back into the rhythm, if you have to look at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But then again, if I have to look at the overall broader picture, okay, we knew that 2022 was going to be the year of the World Cup, World T20.
Yeah.
Did it make sense for Chennai Super Kings to hand over the captaincy to Jadeja in the 2022 IPL?
No, but now that you're seeing it in hindsight.
Hindsight, exactly.
Who was to know at that time that if you gave him captaincy, his bat and ball wouldn't do the talking?
Yeah.
Who was to know that he'll lose form?
Yep.
Maybe you thought that he'd get better with that, but clearly that's not how it's been for Ravindra Jadeja. And I think it's a smart thing. Sometimes you may say the game is done there, RCB has lost, and we'll get to that. Once again, Gujarat Titans punching over their weight. Good we didn't, in that sense.
So Shane, yours and my prediction was.
Yeah, your prediction is right, and I'm saying good that we waited to talk about Virat Kohli in depth after the game, because see, that's what I think the worry was. That now that strike rate is going to come under scrutiny.
Yep. Clearly 15-20 runs short.
Yep.
Clearly.
Yep. And I can't see anywhere any particular area where you can fault the RCB but for the strike rate now.
Yeah.
So
No, but we
that has
always
cost
knew
them the
170
game.
might be short.
Yeah.
That cost them. Just open the points table, Shivam, for us.
16.
Now, by the way, they're in
One
big
step
trouble.
closer to officially sealing the first playoff spot. I mean, they'll be the first team to reach the playoffs if they win their next game. Gujarat Titans.
Yeah.
They are on 16. RCB remain 10. And remember,
It's
the
not
net
updated.
run rate has not improved.
That's not updated, by the way. We have to wait.
Yeah.
It will
No,
not
but-
improve.
wait, that's okay. We can. So RCB now 10 games, 10 points.
Yes.
Yeah.
10 games, 10 point. Now with the remaining 4,
All
if
are
they
must win.
All are must
then
win.
18, then they're in
Yeah.
winning shot. Yes.
And RCB fans, look away from the schedule because you're going to play Sunrisers. You're going to play CSK. You're again going to play GT.
CSK they'd be happy about.
Yeah.
But
But it's with MS Dhoni's back as captain now.
come on.
Ah.
When did he ever leave his cap?
He didn't
They're-
leave it.
they're-
But no, with even if they're out of the playoff condition, they want to spoil the party even more now.
That's-
okay, who are
the
the
thing.
opponents?
So the next opponent is CSK on Wednesday. Then it is Sunrisers. Then it is GT,
GT again.
and PBKs, Punjab Kings.
Oh, so again,
Yes.
they'll have a chance to exact revenge.
So maybe
But
they
2 games of
they
those
may
are very
win
tough.
1 or 2 games. That's it.
No, so PBKs also, you now say they'd fancy their chances.
Yeah,
CSK,
absolutely.
they'll fancy their chances.
But this win
Only SRH and GT tough games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those 2 games are
Yes.
hard. No two
and
ways about it.
this result is great news for both Punjab Kings and Delhi Capitals.
That is exactly why we had been pointing out that you are not going to discount Punjab and Delhi yet.
Yeah.
Because 3 are out, Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai, out of the race.
Yeah.
And you could probably say that Gujarat Titans is the only team that is kind of guaranteed a playoff spot. So between Rajasthan, Lucknow, Sunrisers, RCB, Delhi Capitals, Punjab Kings, all of them would be fighting. Whoever has a better finish to the season and doesn't lose a game, I think that is the team that could still make it. So anyone could still fall out of that top 4. So it will be an exciting finish in that middle bunch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Top almost done and the bottom 3 almost done. So 3, that 6-team huddle that will be there. It's going to be very, very exciting
Very
now
exciting,
going
yes.
forward. Each game is going to be very crucial. But now let's get back to a lot of important things to talk about. Let's talk about Virat Kohli's inning. We spoke about it in the middle of the innings, but now the game is done. We now have the benefit of hindsight. How do you view Virat Kohli's inning? Let's start with Shane this time.
No, see, the thing was, again, as I said, broad, on the bigger picture, if you're looking at it as an Indian fan, great news, he finally got runs. But again, that 58 was scored at too slow a pace. If he had to be there that long, he had to kick on after a point, maybe after getting 30, 40 runs. Say, okay, you know what, I'm going to go bang bang at this point, because more so than my team form, it's all my own form, my team needs those runs. Because this looked like a very good batting track. I mean, it says a lot that Gujarat barely broke a sweat after a point.
Yeah.
So it was a very good batting track. They lost a few early wickets, but of course, the fact that AB Tewatia, I don't know why I'm calling him that, Rahul Tewatia and Killer Miller did the job. It's embedded in my head at this point. Hearing that.
He's doing it for fun
It's like
now.
AB Tewatia is his name now.
Yeah.
He's doing it for
We've forgotten his first name is Rahul.
Yeah.
So anyway.
नाम तो सुना ही होगा.
Yeah. So he would be saying that to pretty much every team at this point. He's done it to all of them. So that's the thing. That innings in hindsight just looks like, good amount of runs, scored too slow, and questions will further be asked.
And yet again, if I have to look at RCB's bowling, if Hazelwood doesn't fire, they are in big trouble.
Come back to Virat Kohli.
So Virat Kohli, as I said, gut instinct told me that.
He was quickly trying to
Yeah.
patli gali se.
नहीं. Patli gali se nahi.
He
I made
quickly
it very
went to
clear.
bowling. You know what? Hazelwood's bowling. Come back to the
Virat
funny-
Kohli, I had said that in the mid innings, I think it didn't benefit RCB.
Yes.
It was not going to help them win because 58. Okay, again we get totally immersed with those numbers. Oh yes, he got a 50. But I disagreed with KL Rahul here. Strike rate is overrated. No, strike rate makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Because
So
among
today,
the
did
top,
RCB lose? Okay, both
Simple
because Shane
question.
has answered. Today, did RCB lose because of Virat Kohli's strike rate?
yes,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
No ways about it.
yes.
Go ahead. Your whole analysis of Virat Kohli's inning.
I think it was slow. Of course, I pointed that out in that mid innings break that we were discussing. That 58 or 53 balls isn't just good enough when you have played that many balls. And a guy who has hit similar number of boundaries as you has batted at a 160 strike rate and you have only batted at less than 110. I know that did make a huge difference. But I also have to say, I thought they're always 20 runs short, and that has to be.
But one of the reasons they
One
were
of the
20 runs short was because of batsmen
80% is the reason I'm
who
saying.
batted
80%
like
of
50
the
odd
reason
balls
is-
and was
yes.
only scoring 50 odd runs.
If somebody calls me Virat Kohli hater, I
No, that's
don't,
okay. You have to
don't
call
agree.
a spade a spade.
I'm,
Whatever
I'm
you
just
see.
going to say, you look at his numbers and you realize, yes, great thing that he has scored a 50, but it did cost his side a lot
Because
of quick runs at the
9
end.
overs, Virat Kohli batted for 9 overs, he scored 58. The remaining 11, 112. So they had to play catch up in that sense. Look at how simple, if I have to look at it. The youngster Rajat Patidar led the way. He was the more aggressive of the lot.
52 or 30.
Kohli yet again, after the power play, he got caught. Whether should I attack, should I stick in? Got caught in those two.
Lomrod
moments.
himself also played a good little knock later on.
16
So
of 8.
quick.
So
Last
let
ball,
me
Gaurav.
tell everyone that Siddhant, as I know, is one of the big Virat Kohli fans, and he's just pointing out what he's seen, and that's what our job is, to call a spade and comment on what we've seen. If I was to look at the inning in totality, I'll see it two ways. If I was to see it as an Indian cricket fan, I'd be happy that he's finally got himself some runs. I can understand why he may have batted this way, because he's been woefully out of form, and as we've been talking, it's not just about any technical issues. You could see that he was very anxious before this inning, so he clearly needed to settle down and get a good total. So if I was also in Virat Kohli's place, what would be the best way for me to get runs? Not by slogging, but by spending time on the crease and getting a total, some runs under my belt, so that I can take that confidence going forward. So I think with that in mind, Virat did exactly what was expected out of him. Probably I would have done the same, right? But what does it come at the cost of his team losing? Because today, as has been pointed out before, I think if anyone was to look at this scorecard, or if you were to look at the game, it's pretty obvious that RCB was a few runs short. The pitch was conducive for stroke making, as you saw with all other batsmen, and then that total should have been a few more runs than what they actually gave Gujarat Titans to chase. Now, has it put RCB's playoff hopes in jeopardy? I would say yes, because now it gets very tough. I would ideally like this kind of a knock. If Virat had to play this kind of a knock to get back into form, it should have come maybe 3-4 games earlier.
True.
Because at that time the table was wide open. A loss here and there would have helped, RCB to bounce back. Now you're in a situation where even if you win all, which is firstly a tough ask to going forward, even if you have to win all, you may still not qualify. So what cost does it come at? And knowing Virat Kohli is a team man, would you take your personal form, which you may have gained today, would you take it at the cost of your team being knocked out of the IPL? Now that's a catch-22 situation, and this is something that he's going to ponder over for a very long time. I think the only other positive I can see from here, because they have to win all games, rather than taking any pressure, if he's taken some confidence from this knock, play that attacking cricket, going forward. We have nothing to lose, you have to win all games, play that attacking cricket, and not just look at number of runs you've got, because now there is a 50 under your belt, and he needs to open. Because the other thing that really came out of this particular knock was that when the power play was on, he could get runs much quicker than when the field spread out. That's when he really struggled to push his tempo up. So,
but then he struggled.
By the way, I just want to add that CSK put out a statement also, which says that Ravindra Jadeja has decided to relinquish captaincy to focus and concentrate more on his game, and has personally requested MS Dhoni to lead CSK. MS Dhoni has accepted to lead the side in the larger interest and to allow Jadeja to focus on his game.
He was woefully out of
get to
form.
that as well. Finish your point.
Yeah, I was just saying, see, 58 or 53 in an IPL game, okay. We are all saying that maybe Indian fans will be happy. I don't think they will be. They'll be pretty nervous. Because in an international game, he might get caught out. 58 or 53.
No, but the point was that maybe, I'm not saying he'll continue playing like that. I'm saying sometime when you got your runs, you start discovering your mojo back, and then he gets back to that level. I agree.
Hope so,
Not with this standard of play. He'll get caught out, as your point.
Yeah.
And doubly so if he has to play. If he's playing for India, he's not playing as an opener. If you're batting, if you're going to come in that middle over,
You never know.
Rohit and Virat, KL
Virat
at
open
3.
and KL at 3.
but
Maybe
it would be
4.
unfair on KL, who's been
No, I agree.
good as an opener.
I agree that it's
but
going to be a tough
KL
call.
has had great success even at 3.
At 4.
At 4. Yeah.
But I would still, in T20s, you're playing with KL as an opener.
Yeah, I don't think that changes.
Again, it's
Yes.
anyway, you could go anyway. I agree that there's enough case to be made for both things. One, that maybe you can get the best out of Virat as an opener, but again, it'd be unfair for KL not to open a position where he's done very well.
Yeah.
Again, as I said, there is no right or wrong there.
Yeah.
You could have gone either way, but anyway. Okay, turning our attention to Jadeja. If you haven't seen our breaking news, now it's on the ticker that he's given away captaincy, given it back to MS Dhoni. You clearly saw that he felt a little lost as a captain, and I think for him his own personal form is far more important now going forward, because again CSK are all but out of the tournament. So it's better he focuses on his batting and bowling.
Correct,
the remaining games, gets some runs, takes some wicket, and goes into the India season as a guy in total form. I think it's a good idea. What
It's
do you
a
think?
great idea.
It's a good idea for two reasons. One, he gets to focus on his game.
Yeah.
Two, he looked ill-equipped for captaincy. He did not really look suited to that role. It seemed like he was still, like Dhoni was captaining the team, and he was there as, an in-name captain, let's say. So not much is changing for them, if you ask me. And this is me saying it honestly, because all the jokes aside, it did seem a lot of the time you could see Dhoni making the changes.
Dhoni was the captain.
yeah.
So
Even
you
if
think
Jadeja was there for the toss.
No, what do you guys think, Siddhant? You think he's like he's had the taste of captaincy now, Jadeja, and probably realized. So it's not just this season thing. You think he's realized that's it? I don't want to.
He's not going to get it now.
No, and he doesn't have any.
I don't think he
aspirations
wants
also.
it either. Yeah.
See, then
Or it could, he might have his own aspirations, I feel. Jadeja to lead this side because he's been playing for them for a number of years. But I think the CSK management have also realized that probably he's not best suited to be the captain, because anyway Dhoni was taking most of the decisions.
Yeah.
So they just probably, the day Dhoni decides to retire, they're going to be like, we're going to just, like RCB did with Faf, they're going to get somebody else and ask them to be captain.
perhaps if this move, if you have to look at it in the future maybe, perhaps this is not the final year for MS Dhoni in CSK. It might not be. They will, because again see, 2023 is yet again a World Cup year. Would you again want to saddle Jadeja with captaincy?
No, but MS Dhoni is not going to take decision about his future based on what is best for Ravindra Jadeja.
Yeah.
Maybe
Is
for
he going to be
CSK.
like, oh, you know what, Jadeja has to play. This is the World Cup year and he has to be in form. So let me play one more year. I don't think so. He will take a call. You may be right saying that maybe because he's been firing a bit with the bat, he may think, and maybe this is what they've discussed also, that he was earlier. I remember MS Dhoni had said that he's going to see how this particular season goes. Based on how this season goes, he'll take a call in his future. Maybe again, this could be another thing why this decision has been taken. Maybe MS feels he's good to go for another season.
Another year, yes.
In which case, it's served the dual purpose of relieving Jadeja from that burden, in which case he can concentrate on his thing. And if that's an interesting point, that maybe MS sees himself playing another season. But I don't think he's going to take, MS is going to take a call for the sake of Jadeja that, let me, captain
because
another
see, they will
season
need a long-term captain now.
Yeah.
Because if Jadeja is not your captaincy material, even for next year, who do they have?
They actually
Maybe
don't
2023 could be the scouting year as to who will be the captain. Maybe Rituraj could be laid the
Take
base
a
for
guess.
2024.
Who do you think? Take a guess. Let's say existing team.
Existing team.
Open the squad for us, Shivam. Take Ruturaj Gaikwad is a contender, but again we haven't seen him captain.
A lot of them are so old. That's a big problem.
No, the other contender was Raidu, who's captain from the under 19 level and at the domestic level.
But
again,
age,
towards the
again
end,
age.
Towards the end of his career.
among all the youngsters, I would look at is just Rituraj. Because even now, if you have to look at it, he's in a leadership kind of a role even in the Maharashtra cricket team. He's taking the decisions, he's been honed for all that. Apart from that, who else they will not appoint a foreigner. Okay, the dark horse could be Deepak Chahar.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think that is the only logical choice.
No, if they don't get someone else.
Otherwise, I said like they'll go like the way RCB did. Gonna go find a captain at the auction or something.
The problem with Deepak Chahar would have been because of his injuries and fast bowlers. That's why they don't go for because they are likely to get injured. In which case you would need another thing. Correct. Foreigner, you're saying not going to go. Who are the other guys in form? Robin Uthappa towards the end of his career.
Again,
so they're not going there.
I'm not sure
Shivam
Dubey,
I don't think they will go.
Not Dubey. Too young.
I don't think
because
so.
see, you will have to build a base from 2023 onwards. Because if Jadeja is not your captaincy material,
then
they have a problem.
Looking. Yeah.
They have a huge problem in the leadership void.
There's a huge void. We can see that, and the way they have handled this.
They're playing hot potato with captain.
Jadeja gone now. You have given it back to MS Dhoni.
Actually, not a hot potato.
I'm saying they might have made it like Jadeja is handing it over back.
But
we knew.
Sugar-coated it.
Sugar-coated it. And my entire point is, I still don't see anybody among these guys becoming the next CSK captain. I think so. They're going to go out and look for somebody new completely.
Or completely new?
Completely new.
Not Ruturaj?
Then maybe.
No, but who are the ones available? Let's say there is no auction. There is nothing. You'll have to look at guys who didn't play this.
Moeen Ali.
I'm saying, what if Ben Stokes? What if Ben Stokes?
But they'll have to pick him first.
No, I'm saying exactly they'll have to go out at the auction and pick somebody.
I don't think he fits into that system.
Suresh Raina is Shivam's choice, but they didn't even pick him. I don't think
they had more than 2 crore. My entire point is they had more than 2 crore rupees left in that purse and they still did not pick Suresh Raina.
And if Suresh Raina would have been the go-to guy, then maybe, if you're looking at that, then maybe why not Ambudi Raidu also? I mean, I'm saying
See, I am looking at the age
and
factor.
Raidu is a regular in his side. Suresh Raina doesn't play regularly.
Even if I had to look at the age factor bit, I could have picked Bravo, but Bravo was also towards the end of his career. Moeen Ali, because I think he's also captain Worcestershire.
He is captain Worcestershire. He also plays like
actually this is something that we could check. Go through all the teams which are there right now in this particular thing. Not doing it now. I'm sure there'll be certain people who've captained in other places who they might look to target, assuming there's an exchange.
That's what I'm saying. We're still assuming that there'll be trade in and trade out. See, you can only think of now. So because those are things that are uncertain, I don't think CSK has that in mind. I think one very interesting point that Siddharth said, maybe they have now reassessed, or I'm not saying CSK, but MS Dhoni has reassessed his own career and thinks he may be good to go for another season.
Because I'll tell you
now that realization has come in, and maybe that's why they've decided that, again, twofold, because the Jadeja experiment didn't work, and now MS thinks he may be good enough to go for another season.
Yes.
All that put together, they've decided.
Because I'll tell you why. Because the decision of this has been taken when it's mid-season for CSK.
Let me ask a question, by the way. Do you think this decision is also on the back of, forget what we are assuming that maybe MS comes back or not. Maybe they're not even looking at it. Of course, it's kick-started by the fact that Jadeja is not doing well. Okay, and maybe he wants to concentrate on his cricket. considering it's the T20 World Cup. He wants to get back in form and wants to, all of that aside. Do you think they still harbor hopes of making it to the playoffs?
Right now,
And thought that maybe with MS back as the
See,
official
they will
cup
definitely give it a
captain.
push. Okay.
Yeah.
What I feel is they'll want to end this season on a high.
On a high. Yeah.
And then build for 2022.
Okay.
Because that's what they did in 2023, sorry. They'll want to end 2022 on a high. That's what they did in 2020. They won 4 consecutive games towards the end.
Yeah.
That laid the base for a good 2021. But with a steady leadership. This time what has happened? Okay, Jadeja was thrust into leadership. But then Dhoni was doing all the decision making. So rather than white-anting, why don't you directly give him the leadership role? And extend for one more year, 2023. Who knows, by the time 3-year contracts are done.
Yeah.
There's a 3-year contract. So,
So
2024
2, 3,
Dhoni
4.
phases away.
Yeah.
And then 2023 gives you the base for a good leader.
So Redacted Shetty has a point, and he's saying CSK should have made Faf the captain for 2-3
Always
years.
been
If
saying
they
that
were
for
planning to
ages,
change
yes.
captaincy early on.
what's
Then Gaikwad could have been groomed at that time. I agree. We've spoken about this.
But again, Faf's age, 37.
no, but he's
maybe
still
a
captain
couple
for
of
RCB,
years.
right?
See, what is
No,
RCB's position
entire
now?
point is you would have a transitionary captain, na? That's what you were looking at Faf du Plessis for. You would have him for a couple of years and then hand it over to somebody like Ruturaj Gaikwad, as you guys are pointing
maybe
out.
Chennai Super Kings felt that instead of Faf, maybe the transition could happen with Rayudu at max.
But then they appointed Jadeja.
So just to let you know what fans think, Vedika Patel says Dhoni back as captain, and I'm really happy. Devansh says Ben Stokes maybe could be the one they target. We've discussed about it, but for that we don't know how they'll acquire him, whether there'll be a mini auction, whether there'll be some sort of trade. Or for firstly, we don't even know whether Ben Stokes would now becoming
Exactly.
captain of England would even
would
be
he be
Because
playing
available
regular,
for IPL.
Because
Yeah.
if I have to point out to the family members that now that he's the test captain, let us make it very clear, test captain, the ECB want their test captains or the regular test players to play in the first couple of rounds in the county.
Correct.
That overlaps with May. That means Stokes, if we speak for Chennai and as captain, will not be available for the second half of the IPL.
So if they have to target, and this is just a thought process I was having, I don't know how it would work out, but if they have trades, one player they could target would be Jason Holder.
Yeah, he's a good captain material.
In fact, he'll return back to CSK.
Yes, he's
after
played for
10
Chennai
years.
as well.
Yes, he played for CSK.
Started with them in the
Yep.
IPL.
Yeah,
CS.
he's a very good option for.
That's what I was thinking. That's why I was thinking we should actually
No,
throw
but
all
it
teams.
will also depend on whether Lucknow wants to give him.
Yeah,
a-
see,
Yeah.
that's
So
the
he's
thing.
saying if
you
trade
can
in
trade,
happens.
I'm saying that's someone they can
Yeah.
target. I'm not saying there's a
There are
guarantee
so
they'll
many-
give it
If
up.
you
that's
offer
what-
Deepak Chahar,
I'm saying there are so many
They may
permutations,
give.
so many permutations that way.
Yeah.
Who you could
But
get,
see,
who might be
if you look
there.
at all the 10 teams, there is not a bowler. I mean, Hardik Pandya is a batting all-rounder, but there's no bowler who's leading the IPL side.
yeah. Or if you give them, I don't know, if you offer them, let's say someone like a Tikshana, mystery spinner, you don't have, then they may be okay. I will
Yeah.
give you Jason Holder. Who knows? They anyway have too many all-rounders. They push him to 7, 8 sometimes to bat.
Yeah, he might himself push for the trade, saying, okay, I got
We
a chance
don't
to
know
lead a
whether that
franchise.
is. We don't know whether.
Yeah, I'm
that-
saying
yeah.
all
If
theoretical at
all-
this point, all
okay.
theoretical. But I'm just saying he's a good option to target.
It'll be funny if they go at the end of season. We are gonna appoint Jadeja again next season.
Bye
He's
bye.
gonna be.
See you.
He's gonna be an opener.
Yeah.
Akhil Shukla is saying now CSK is going to win every match because Dhoni is back. See, this also tells you how much people loved MS Dhoni as captain. Even though we've been fooling around a bit and saying that he was anyway captain.
When he comes
But-
out for
but-
the toss, I just imagine how that
that crowd is
celebration
gonna-
will be.
Yeah,
My God.
but to be fair, we keep saying that it was MS Dhoni was captaining. But if you remember, there are certain clips that have gone viral. I remember Surya Kumar Yadav and Jadeja talking post match. I could hear the audio, and they were Surya was saying, "You placed a fielder there." He said, "Yeah, I placed it because I knew." So all our assumptions that Dhoni is still captain may not be entirely true, and Jadeja was taking a lot of calls as well. But anyway, now he's decided it's best to concentrate, which I think is a great decision. If it's not working for him, we as Indian fans would want Jadeja back in form.
Yes.
However,
I want him back in that
Yeah.
2019 World Cup form where he was just, he's
Only one match.
yeah, even then,
Yeah.
even then,
I would want
Lit a fire under his
Jadeja
ego.
as peak in 2012-13. Single-handedly in 2013, along with Dhawan, he helped you win the Champions Trophy.
True.
yeah, no, but Jadeja recently with both bat and ball is something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
That Jadeja.
Yeah, but in the IPL we haven't seen that at all.
That's why they had to get the
for
captaincy
Indian
of him.
cricket.
Yeah.
Only legitimate captain redacted Shetty is pointing out is Owen Morgan. That's.
I mean, I make
That's
jokes,
a
but he
valid
did
point.
lead them.
No,
to
in
an
terms
IPL
of
final.
country captains.
But then he's also old, so I mean, if you're wanting a long-term option, Manish
Pandey
is
I don't know.
not playing for his side only.
captain will go.
Oh,
when
Varun Parvatani is pointing out, how about Devon Conway?
Devon Conway.
But
I'll
again,
have to-
so-
we'll have to research
Lack of
that.
leadership. He's not even captained his provincial side also. If
Yeah.
I may have to look at it, he's not. And basically, foreigners now we shun to take them as captain in the IPL because very few achieve success. Warner and Vaughan are the exceptions to the norm. Duplessis is also an exception to the norm
Yeah.
when it comes to captaincy. Because apart from that, who else is who else is leading?
Gilchrist.
No. In the current IPL, who's the overseas
current?
captain?
No.
No one. Apart
Williamson.
from
Williamson. Yeah, Faf and
again, Williamson exception to the norm, but
Yeah.
so it's very difficult.
Okay, on that note, thank you so much for your company.
We haven't made predictions for this match, you know.
Oh, there was so many talking points. Actually, I
Yeah,
forgot. Come on,
there's a
quickly,
lot to do actually.
quickly.
Rajas-
It's Rohit Sharma's birthday, so I'm starting today, and I'm going with Rohit Sharma's team. Birthday gift.
And he's
Yeah.
very
yes,
big.
Rajasthan Royals are making 160, but Mumbai Indians are winning.
I'm going with Rajasthan Royals making 170, but Mumbai Indians winning.
Yep.
185 Rajasthan and them winning.
Them winning. Okay, Rajasthan winning.
Rajasthan winning 178.
We're all going very close with scores.
Yes.
See you at the mid-innings show. Don't forget to download the Gamezy app and
Link in the
subscribe to
description.
Sports Today if you haven't
Yes.
already.
Vanakkam.
Bye bye.
Steve Smith was also an option.
And